Hello, my name is Greg Robinson, and I'm the professor of outdoor leadership here at John Brown University. I want to thank you for taking some time and listening in on the conversation of some of our students and alumni as they discuss what it's been like to study outdoor leadership here in our programs. I hope you find this time helpful.
Well, we are here to talk about the outdoor leadership major, what it means, what it is to be a student in this major, and yeah, just kind of what it looks like to get to learn in this area of the ministry, camp world, outdoor world, recreation world, whatever you want to call it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. To kind of start off, I'm curious, what is something that other students or prospective students would need to know about the outdoor leadership major that they might not initially know from a webpage or a program description? Yeah.
I think probably just like the variety of different students that we have in the program. We have a lot of students that really, really love the outdoors, and we have a lot of students that love the programmatical and like analytical kind of side of things, of being able to design a program, design a way for a system to work rather than like being outside. So I think that that's really cool, of just getting to see all the different types of people that come through our program. Because I'll be the first to say I'm not the most outdoorsy person, but I really enjoy like the challenge that it can bring, and how this major specifically pushes us to do that.
Yeah, with that, especially the huge scope of what you can do with this major was really surprising to me when I came in, because I came in wanting to do specifically camp ministry. So that's what I have been focused on. But going through all these classes and learning all these things, it's just like, it just broadened the view of what you can actually do with this major. That was really, really interesting to me.
Definitely brings a whole new light to a whole lot of different options. I know that I came in pretty single track minded, and getting here and experiencing all the other stories that I've met along the way and seeing what other options are out there for outdoor leadership has definitely changed my perspective on what in the world I'm going to do and what's out there.
Yeah. And what did you guys come in? I know you kind of mentioned you came in wanting camp ministry, or you came in wanting adventure, you came in wanting the opposite of adventure. And what do you think that you're like taking away that you weren't expecting to, maybe like very specifically?
I think I just have a more holistic view of the industry as a whole, understanding a lot of the other interworkings of, you can do camp ministry, but then there's also the like administrative side that I never really thought about having people really pursue with their hearts, along with things like construction within ropes courses, or the facilitation of more corporate groups.
I think getting to see the heart behind what makes everything run, of like getting to see all the different perspectives of what makes people like their minds work, and getting to like fully understand that like more coming into it. Just like coming in, I was like, people are going to have a very one track kind of mind of like, this is what I want to do. And I came into this program thinking, okay, I want to do only camping ministry. And now after leaving the program, it's like, okay, yes, I can do camping ministry, but I can take this and apply this to everyday life and everyday relationship, rather than just solely focusing on what I want to do as a career, which I think is really cool and something that we can all take away, of understanding that like our major is so relational, and getting to understand why people work and operate the way that they do. So I think that that's something that I'm taking away that I really didn't fully understand, because coming in, As a student, it was very traditional for me growing up of what an education looked like. You sit down at a desk, you get lectured at. But that's really not what happens here. We have a conversation and we understand why people think the way that they do. So I think it's really cool of like understanding just the way that people come to the decisions that they come to. So I would say in that aspect, we're a very relational major.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this program is like so fundamentally different in every single aspect. Like you come in with an expectation of a specific view of camping, whether that is recreational camping, residential camping, adventure camping, and that gets flipped on its head and you get experience and understanding in all of those worlds. And at the same time, like you look at the learning side and it's like, oh, the information is not it's not being given to me. I'm learning how to ask questions. I'm learning how to ask good questions, questions that no one else is asking. And then you like look at the relational side and it's like, oh, now I'm learning how to form friendships and relationships that are not just surface level and that are not even just like, I want to know about your life. It's like, I want to be invested in your life. I want to learn how to help myself change so that I can help you change. I get to learn about development and formation so that I can better understand like the holistic, just like what you said, the holistic, like we look at camp overall, we look at people overall, and there's like so much more depth to this program than I think you read a description and you're like, oh, I'll learn the processes. No, you learn like so much more than that. Yeah.
I think it has definitely given me a better framework of like the psychology behind why people behave the way that they behave. And I think that's been really important and really interesting to me, just to like broaden the scope of like how we can work in that like context of camping. I think that's been really, really big for me.
Yeah, how would you say maybe like the way you approach like maybe even just like certifications. I think we should talk about those for about 5 seconds. The certifications that we get, the experience that we get, relationally, facilitation, and also like camping. How have those affected like how you viewed this program and also like what you do moving forward?
That was a big draw for me coming into this program, was like, oh my gosh, I get to get all these certifications. I get to get my woofer by the end of this. Like, that would be so awesome. I think just going through that at the same time, like getting all these awesome like technical certifications while at the same time going through these classes and like seeing how they affect, like the technical aspect is affected so much by the relational aspect of our major. And I think that was like something that I never expected going in, and like getting those certifications was like amazing. And I love the technical side of stuff like this. But the relational aspect and like the classes that you take at the same time are just give you a whole different framework to like work off of as you're understanding like what you're doing through the program. So I thought that was like, I think that's a big part of the program that's been really helpful for me, is like I have these technical skills, but I also have the soft skills and the relational skills to be able to use these technical skills in a different way. So
doing our wilderness first responder, like that was scary to me because I just don't like doing that type of stuff. But it really, like after having conversations like with people in class and conversations with Greg about why we do what we do, was really encouraging of understanding that like I can't ask/facilitate a group and have them do these things that are really hard and pushing them out of their comfort zone if that's not something that I'm willing to do as well. So these skill certs really like pushed me to grow in a way that I didn't know that I needed to grow, and being willing to not take myself too seriously. So I think that that's something that really stuck with me, just going into like future endeavors of like you can do the hard thing and grow from it exponentially if you just buy in and like do the thing.
Yeah.
So
And I think actually going off that point, pushing further in with like skill certifications or like hard skill classes, there's also the bonds they make along the way with like the group that you're with, of like going backpacking together, because most of us were on that trip together.
Yeah.
And just the absolute experiences that come from that. And then like spending a couple days out on the water kayaking with your professor and like learning how the water works is also just an incredibly developmental experience.
Yeah, it's like you learn how to do it, you learn how to facilitate it, and you get to experience it yourself with like facilitators who've been in this industry for so long and like know how to do it so well. And then you get to like do it with people who love doing it too.
It's like a little learning lab for you, where
Yes.
where you like learn all these things, and then you go out and you get to like watch somebody else do them for you.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love how you brought up, Bailey, like people walking in with different backgrounds. I walked in to the Outdoor Leadership degree program without knowing anything about it. I came into college actually a FAM and human major, and then I was a CMF major, and then I finally found out about OLM when I was here. I wasn't an Outdoor Leadership Ministries major until my sophomore year of college. And so when I jumped in, I like so quickly was like, there's so much here. And I had no expectation of what the certifications were going to be like, what facilitation was. I just knew that I loved working summer camp and I wanted to learn more about it. And so, yeah, I think it's awesome that like no matter what expectations you walk in with, they get shifted. And that's actually like so much of what we're learning about is like when those expectations do shift, how do we help people through that? How do we help ourselves through that? And why is that so impactful? Because it has been for each of us. I'm curious why you decided to be an outdoor leadership major when you knew that you didn't love the outdoorsy stuff or weren't certain about what these certifications were going to look like.
Yeah. I think for me, it was a lot of just like understanding why things work the way that they do. And I actually came into school as a business major, and I had every intention of doing sports management and taking that route. So after the first day of class, I went and talked with Greg, and I was like, hey, like, this is not what I'm wanting to do. I'm wanting to do something different, and just sat down and talked with him about what the outdoor leadership major really looked like. And through that conversation, just through a little bit of prayer in that moment of like, okay, what do I want to do? Having that conversation with him was super impactful, and just hearing his heart behind why he started teaching the outdoor leadership degree, and why he was so passionate about it, and being able to understand the like systematic thinking behind our major and understanding the theory behind it. And it's not all based outdoors, because I would say a majority of our major isn't like in the outdoors. It's like we are in a classroom having discussion, or we're outside having a discussion, whatever that may look like. But we're all sitting around in like a circle kind of like this, where we're just having a conversation about why things work the way that they do. And that's just always how my mind has operated, of like wanting to know deeper and like wanting to get deeper than surface level. And I think that our major specifically caters to that, because we're constantly asking those questions of like, but why? And like digging deeper. So for me, joining the program was utilizing the beauty of God's nature and outdoors, but more so being on the programmatical side of things, if that makes sense.
I think this major prepares you super well for, yes, like we're learning in the context of the outdoors, and like the whole major is set like on a basis of that outdoor context, but all of the skills and all of the stuff that you learn, like it can be taken into pretty much any context that you want. It's not necessarily just like solely the outdoors. Like everything that we learn, all the soft skills that we learn, like it is so transferable. Like all of the leadership skills and all of that like theoretical framework stuff that we go through, like all of that can be applied in like a multitude of different like practices. So
I think kind of going off of that, something that I'm really passionate about is being able to equip people to diagnose their own problems and like how to fix those in like within an organization. And I think that that's something that we get to learn within our major, and that can be applicable to the outdoors, but that can also be applicable to like church staffs, that can be applicable to corporate world, that can be applicable to like a school staff. Like it's so widely vast that like people think that we only work in the outdoor context, but
Yeah.
we can do and go any avenue that we really desire.
I think Greg said it really well in one of our classes last semester. He said that the goal with outdoor leadership ministry is that when we leave this program, we can go into any one of those three things, the outdoors, leadership, or ministry. It's not a whole degree, it's three different types of degrees that we could pursue.
Yeah, it's like that's like the beauty and the benefit of this degree program is that you hit so many different options and in each one of them in so much depth. Like it's not like we're just like, oh, we briefly talk about being a leader for like one class and then you just skip over it. It's like actually being a leader is fundamental to how I facilitate. It's fundamental to working in this administrative role or doing this specific process. And so everything is so individual and you get so much depth in each of them and they're also integrated as well. And I think that is like the beauty of our program, and also what I love about it is that each person is challenged in different ways. Like I think you said, you know, you came in uncertain about like wanting to be in an outdoorsy major, and like when I realized I had to do certifications, I was the exact same way. I was like, wait, no, I love the camping where I like stay in a cabin and I like ride the ropes course, and that's like pretty crazy for me. Like that was like as wild as I was getting. And so I was challenged in those ways and like got to learn about a whole bunch of stuff that I was really excited about. And like in other ways, people who come in who are super outdoorsy and love that stuff, like you get to experience that and learn more about it and learn how to engage in it, and you get challenged in these other ways of like, and what is the other side of that? How are we debriefing that? How are we processing these awesome adventure experiences that we're having? And so it's like no matter what you come in interested in, you're gonna get to learn more about that and all this other stuff that's gonna be a challenge and like challenges you to become so much better and well-rounded in all of those areas.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me taking away from like what you were saying is just kind of coming in and learning how to make those experiences that I love so much, like ropes course stuff, outdoor stuff like that, like learning how to make those transformational experiences for other people, because they were transformational experiences for me when I did them. And I think that that was like my biggest thing coming in was like, I love these things so much. How do I facilitate this for other people? And how do I make this like a transformational experience like I had for other people?